Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into my teams. More of the endgame teams against Treasure Map Momonosuke that still don't use any of the new badge, but have a bit more of an established account in the terms of going fast with mini-bosses, not really caring about the points and the recommended characters, and then focusing on as many points as possible for the final fight. Now, as I mentioned in today's video, I won't be including the new Green Bull character, the rare recruits that come with the treasure map units, as well as Momo and Hiyori, and that particular batch, as well as I obviously haven't summoned there. I haven't summoned since the 9.5th anniversary, so I'll be including characters from there. But the character that we're going to be looking at today is Monkey D. Luffy, the fireworks lighting the skies of Wano for the end of Wano celebration. And this particular character is getting a 5+. I was on the fence of this whole 5+ situation, but honestly, it's starting to grow on me because these characters are getting incredibly good. Like, they're getting very, very good. If the character slows recovery when the special is launched, heals 20,000 HP, boosts recovery by 1.5, and then deals non-type damage to one enemy based on depending on how many recovery orbs the crew has, 0 to 6. Changes all slots, including block slots to recovery, and then removes Despair and Special Bind by 5 turns. Boosts Free Spirit Fighters base attack by 1,000, and then their slot effects, depending on the number of recoveries orbs used in normal attack before the special is launched, up to a 2.5 times orb boost, as well as reducing another turn of Despair and Special Bind by 1 turn. So, pretty interesting stuff. Obviously, you do need recovery orbs for this to work. His captain ability is pretty stock standard. He does allows you to eat recovery orbs on perfects and boost the chance of landing on them. A rainbow 4 times... a free spirit and fighter 4 times captain when they have recovery slots is actually pretty good. But if you have a look at that other BB, the film celebration unit, the Beppo, Bluno, and Sunny-kun unit, that unit's actually incredible in terms of what they do for captain and how they've been working for content moving forward. So that's what I really like to see. Reduces character special bind by 6 turns and makes recovery orbs have matching slot effects, and then reduces attack down duration by 1 turn and sets recovery orbs to the start of the fight. So very, very good abilities. Hunger, slot bind, pinch healing. This character's really, really good, and I would definitely farm him out. Support, not so much, but the biggest downside to the character is that his name's Luffy. So fortunately, that's going to hold him back, but it is nice to see that we are getting some really, really powerful free-to-play characters. If you scroll on down here, you'll be able to see the boosted list, all the information for the treasure map. The treasure map seed spot won't be in this treasure map. It's coming for the January treasure map, and that's what it's planned for. But if you scroll down, okay, well, I always hit this button as I'm scrolling, like, it's so annoying. If you scroll down, you'll see that Green Bull gives you a 2 times buff to your treasure points. He adds an extra card slot. He does all that fun stuff. And then boosts treasure points by 1.8 times and all this other stuff as well. So, interesting stuff for these particular characters. Momo, Hiyori, all those characters like to give you extra spots as well. Bluno, Beppo, and Sunny-kun, they give you the 1.4 times, so you do want to try and bring them on your final boss teams. And this particular Luffy, before he gets a 6+, will increase the chance of landing on the C-Cat card. So honestly, probably don't 5+ him because he loses that ability, or keep one unevolved. So moving forward, you can actually use both of these characters. As you guys will see here with the BBS unit, down here as well, you'll see that their 5-star and their 5+ is actually boosted in both variations. So keeping an unevolved copy and an actual copy of these characters might be the wave moving forward. As you can see, they've done it with Kid as well from Super Boss. So keeping an extra copy and having the extra point boost might be up your alley. But for today, we're going fast. We're not really worrying about that, and we're trying to focus on speed as well as maximizing our points for the final boss as much as possible. So, let's kick it off with the Luffy fight. Luffy is a quick unit. The recommended character is Kid, but obviously we're going to be using Kid later down the line. Everyone gets all the good stuff. And at the starting state, you get the Land of Wano official 3-turn hit barrier. That's okay. So it's a 15-hit 3-turn barrier. There is 6 turns of paralysis. You get empty slots, basically all slots turn to block. All type slots become unfavorable. 99 turns of delay immunity, and then a 2 hits barrier. So, like, I don't know why they put this starting state up, and then it's like, that must be like before the preemptive, after the preemptive kind of thing. But nevertheless, there is a hit barrier. So with that, we are using Cat Viper. Double Cat Viper, you can run Cat Viper Dog Storm if you really want to, like, that's going to be fine. We're utilizing Hiyori to get ourselves Wano orbs, then we don't have to worry about the block orbs on the final stage. Zoro is our wave clearer. We can go Bink Bink, and then we have an attack booster with Cat Viper. Just use him on turn 2 before you wave clear. You got the clock buff, you can carry that over. And then you can use Nami and Robin to give yourself an orb boost and remove the paralysis. Koala's just there for color affinity. She's a 1.25 booster. I thought, hey, like, let's bring her. Why not? Plus, when we need more damage, we can definitely use her for more damage, and she's just going to increase color affinity buff. Team should work quite nicely. I don't see too many issues at all with this. Should work for a very, very long time, and if it doesn't, we can obviously sort of just replace our captain with another Dex captain that's going to provide something, I don't know, like Big Mom, for example. Moving on to the Denjiro fight now. He's an int character, so you want to bring a full Psy team. Stampede Luffy and Christmas Nami is actually the recommended characters here, but Psy, Strength, and Dex characters get all the good stuff. You get Despaired for 6 turns after sockets. There's 6 turns of paralysis, 6 turns of attack down, normal attacks only. All orbs get turned into block slots, and there's delay immunity. So as you can see, like, running Stampede Luffy is the wave here. He's just perfect. He removes the Despair and the paralysis, and then with his special, he can actually remove attack down as well. So you just pop his special, completely removes the attack down, and you're just in a really, really good spot. Brook's going to be our wave clearer. He does fixed damage. Make sure to level limit break him. He's a free-to-play character. Very, very easy. Shirohoshi gives us rainbow orbs at the start of the fight. We don't have to worry about the block orbs this way. And then Yamato's just here because she's a point booster. Literally just popping one Luffy special is going to be plenty of damage moving forward. I don't see it being an issue whatsoever, but you can easily use Robin. She's another attack down remover. Plus, she can also set defense to 0. As I do believe there was only immunity to delay. So, like, you can use defense down and stuff like that. If you want to, you can use one of the Luffys to wave clear, and then use Brook for the additional damage. That's another thing too, but Yamato can also do that. Moving on to the Raizo fight. Raizo is a strength unit, and the recommended characters are Hiyori and Grandpa Odin. Strength, Dex, and quick characters get all the good stuff. Top row gets Despaired for 6 turns after sockets. There's 6 turns of paralysis, normal attacks only. There's Bind on your top and middle row. 6 turns of attack down at 99%, and then full immunity. On defeat, the enemy comes back with 10% HP, and a 1-tap Wano slot. So, the team I'm rocking is double Kuzan. Kuzan's an absolute menace in Treasure Map. He always has been. He's just gotten so much better with the update of fixed damage. You can literally use him to wave clear the first 2 stages. He gives himself some ridiculous amount of cooldown. Like, it's an absolutely disgusting amount of cooldown this unit gets. He gives himself 4 turns of cooldown, and then the other Kuzan will give him 1. So you're getting 5 turns of cooldown on each of your Kuzans, and then because they're boosted on the stage, they get the 5 turns, and then you have sockets and all that other fun stuff. To get around the Despair, Bind and Despair, I have the Kanjuro support on Izo and Kiku, and then I also have Zeph at level limit break 5. You can easily use Luffy and Ace, the treasure map unit, over what's his name? Zeph if you want to, but Zeph has barrier pen. He's a shooter character. I thought it just worked a little bit nicer on this team, so that way we could actually just sort of get some more barrier pen on the revive. The last unit I have here is Hio. Hio is completely replaceable. Honestly, probably bringing another shooter character, so that way you can get Wano orbs on your bottom slot, and then doing something like this. That honestly will do a little bit nicer. I might actually change that up. So if you go to shooters like this, we want to go by boosted effects. Anyone? Yeah, cool. So we can just use this new. We can just use the new Baccarat unit. They're a 1.25 times booster. They have barrier pen as well. All works out pretty hunky dory. Now you're actually going to get some Wano slots on your bottom row, and that way you can just burst through the barrier anyway. Just make sure to keep one of them if you guys don't have enough damage to actually kill there. So very, very easy stuff with Izo and Kiku giving those Wano slots. Like I said, wave clear with the Kuzan units, but then you have to get around paralysis and attack down, and that's where the waifu unit comes in. Waifus are going to give us color affinity to our free spirit and striker characters, so the Kuzans are actually going to be hitting very, very hard, like very, very hard. Plus you get the attack and orb boost with Kuzan 2. You remove the paralysis attack down, and then the Blind and Despair is all pretty hunky dory there. You have a chain lock with Izo Kiku as well if you want to be doing something like that, but look, you probably won't need it early stages. That'll just be more for later down the line. Moving on to Shinobu now. Shinobu is a dex unit that turns to strength. Momo, Law, and Robin, and then Okiku and Toko are the boosted characters. Slasher, Free Spirit, Cerebral get all the good stuff. There's 6 turns of special bind, normal attacks only. All orbs get turned to unfavorable. 6 turns of lock slot, 1 turn of a 25 hit barrier, 6 turns of defense up, 6 turns of threshold, and there is status immunity except for delay. So you can delay the enemy, just you can't do anything else. The enemy has a self-heal of 10%, 1 turn of silence, and then gives you a chain multiplier of 3 or less for 90% of attack down. Now, that silence means you cannot do anything on that silence. Like, you can't do anything at all, which is, look, it's a little bit annoying. But at the end of the day, as long as you bring a 3-turn chain locker, someone like Izo and Kiku, someone like Tesoro or Shanks Crew or something like that, you are going to be in a really, really good spot. Now, for myself, I'm using Nami Karina for this fight. Nami Karina they're just exceptional in the terms of they're always going to dupe drops. And in Treasure Map moving forward, I'm always going to use this unit. If you guys have the Tesoro shit maxed out, it does have an ability where it extends chain locks. So that way I can use Vista to wave clear on turn 1, use Tesoro to wave clear on stage 2, extend that chain boundary to a 4-turn, and then that way I can easily still have it for the kill on the first turn and then into the second. Ashura is going to remove the Threshold as well as the Special Bind, and then what's the name? Nami Karina are basically going to do the rest. They can remove defense up, they can remove barriers, they can be your attack booster, they can be your orb booster, and it all works out super hunky-dory there. Finally, we have Hina. Hina's going to just be a base stat booster if we need more damage later down the line, but look, she's completely replaceable otherwise. So, Nami Karina team, always like to bring one for when it comes to Treasure Map, and that's the one I'm using this time. Moving on to the final boss fight now against Momo. Against Momo, honestly, this boss fight wasn't too bad, and I believe the points of this team are around 10.97 with a friend captain Green Bull. Obviously, all of the characters are boosted, plus the Beppo Sunny-kun unit and the new Luffy, which I do really, really like. Like, having the 2 last PK units recommended for this fight is just, it's so good for players that aren't summoning on these Treasure Map banners, which is just so nice. But look, Powerhouse, Free Spirit, Fighter characters get all the good stuff. On stage 2, there's going to be a perfect barrier for 3 perfect hits. There's also a dex slot barrier, so you have to hit with a dex slot and hit 3 perfects, which is a little bit annoying. There is 99 turns of status immunity, full normal attacks, 7 turns of burn, 6 turns of attack down, and all orbs get rotated into block orbs, I believe. So, great stage to use. Green Bull on, get the full board of dex orbs. You can easily break the barrier that way, and you're in for a really good time. On defeat, though, you're going to take 100,000 damage, so you do want to try and tank that somehow. And the new BBS unit, or the 5+ BBS unit, helps out a lot there. On the final stage, there is Special Bind Paralysis. All orbs get turned to block. 5 turns of Despair after socket, 6 turns of Ship Bind, and full immunity except for Ignite. If you change your slots, they just get changed back to block, and then they get locked. So, they kind of want you to use that super orb block of Green Bull, but you don't really have to. Utilizing Kid as our captain will turn recovery orbs into super bomb orbs, which is really, really nice. Getting that ability to just turn all recovery orbs into super bomb means, turns them into bomb slots, and then I believe he changes. He changes the block slots into super bomb. So the way that this team's going to work is basically on turn 2 you can use the Green Bull special to get through the barrier, and then use the BBS special to give yourself damage reduction and remove some of the attack down. I am using an attack down removing ship, so that way I can use the Lucci support to get the 6 turns of attack down. It just means I don't have to pop that BBS unit 3 times. Saves me by using 2, and then I can use them again to remove Ship Bind on the final stage if I need that moving forward. You can just bring another unit that removes Ship Bind, though, if it has the Sailor ability, but that'll work fine. On the final stage, to get around the Paralysis, we have Kid, but we do have to get around the Special Bind first, and that's where the new Luffy comes in. Luffy can actually change block orbs into recovery, and he removes the Despair and the Special Bind. He'll also give you a base stat boost, and I believe he's going to give you... Yeah, he's going to give you a slot boost. That's a bit annoying, but unfortunately, it's just the way... it is. I did have Zoro for that, but look, we're going to have to take Luffy's orb buff, which is very annoying, actually, because you can't use Green Bull. I'm just going to call him Green Bull because I keep stuffing that up. So that is a little bit annoying, but look, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. We could probably just use an attack boosting support like you instead. So that's going to be absolutely fine. So Luffy's going to give Free Spirit and Fighters an orb buff, but mainly he's going to remove the Despair and the Special Bind. He's going to rotate those orbs into bomb slots because of Kid. And then Kid's Special can actually turn block into super block. sorry, not block into super block. He can turn block into super bomb. I honestly might just do that now. Now that I don't need that, what's it called? I think I could probably do that. Using these guys as captains is probably going to be a little bit nicer. Yeah, I don't really see the... I guess, like, it's not going to matter too much, to be honest. But Kid is basically doing with paralysis. He's going to give us the Super Bomb Orbs, so then that way when they get rotated back to block, they can't be rotated again. They're basically going to be stuck there. Shanks is going to set defense to 0. He can also increase the Orb buff, mainly, and then he gives a Chain Multiplicative as well. He's mainly here because he's a 1.35 times booster. And then Katakuri, Oven, and... Katakuri and Oven, they're going to be your chain booster as well as your conditional booster. I'm going to bring them as captain now because they're a stronger captain. That's going to work out pretty hunky-dory. And then, yeah, basically with a friend Captain Greenball, you're just going to be in a really good spot. You have an attack boost with Kid, the striker, support of X-Drake. You have color affinity with Kid. You have chain boost, a conditional, and then Ryu, Goku, wherever he's... We're not going to be able to get his super type, but at the end of the day, that's not really going to matter for this particular fight. Moving on to Yamato now, though. This one was a lot more challenging to build for. But this team did clock out at around 8-point-something points, I believe. You get the 2 times multiplier with Ryu, Goku. Or I keep doing that. Just call him Green Ball. Fuck me. You get the 2 times multiplier with Green Ball. And then this team, it should do very, very nicely. Led by Luffy, because there is paralysis on stage 2. Free Spirits, Powerhouse, and I believe it's Strikers. Yeah, Strikers. No, Slashes. Powerhouse, Slashes, Free Spirit, get all the good stuff. 6 turns of paralysis on stage 2. Normal attacks only. A 2-turn slot barrier for strength slots. You have to use 2 of them. 6 turns of attack down once again, and immunity except for Ignite. On defeat, there is 100,000 damage, so you do need to tank that, and that's where the BBS unit comes into play once again. On stage 3, all orbs get turned into super block slots, which is very, very annoying. Empty, G, Recovery, Tandem, like, they all get turned into super block, which is kind of sucky. But you can use Kid to kind of, like, hold on to them if you want to use him to remove the paralysis, and then you can sort of, like, lock them somehow. You're going to get slot binded, you're going to get shift binded, you're going to get Threshold for 7 turns. All Wano Orbs are going to be reduced damage by 90%. Defense down immunity, delay immunity, and then she'll either be a strength or a dex type. So she can change her typing, which is a little bit annoying. So, like I said, the team's led by Luffy. Luffy's going to be the leader of this team because he can remove paralysis. But like I said, what you can do is you can actually use Kid, which I'm kind of tossing up for. Because Kid is a 1.35 times booster, and then that way you won't have to use the Ryu Goku support. The problem with Kid is you have to use some... What's it called? You have to use a Strength Orb to break through the barriers. This is the reason why I've built out the team like this. We do have Luffy with the Boa support. Now, the idea here is to use Fujitora to swap into Captain, and then Luffy will go to the bottom left-hand spot, then use the Luffy special to give ourselves an attack boost, and then with Boa, she's going to rotate our left-hand column into matching orbs. This is going to give Luffy and Kobe a strength orb, which is going to be really, really nice, and then Ryogoku's going to get his own orb as well. You can use the BBS units to remove the attack down. Once again, we have the ship and the Lucci support, and that's going to give us damage reduction to tank the shot. On this turn, we can use the super type of Green Bull to super lock those orbs, so that way we don't have to worry about any very annoying orb shenaniganry on the final stage. With that, we can then swap back Luffy into Captain, and we can basically use Kobe to remove the Threshold. We can swap him into Captain, get some base stats that way. We have a conditional with the Akainu unit being a powerhouse lead. We get the 2.25. We have the Orb boost of Green Bull, and then we have the... what's it called? The Luffy special getting back once again. It should come back because you can use the BBS special after that as well. Even as a Sailor, Luffy's going to get 2 turns of cooldown every time a Sai unit uses a special, so that BBS unit is actually going to give, like, 4 turns of cooldown, then when he goes back to Captain, another 3. So 7 turns of cooldown to Luffy. Kobe's going to give 3 when Luffy's Captain, then he gives a turn of cooldown. His Super Class gives cooldown. You're going to be in a really good spot by getting Luffy special back very easily. That way you can get a full board of orbs again, and you can... Well, the orbs aren't going to matter because you're going to have the lock. But you're going to get the attack boost, which is really, really nice. So this team should work bits. It should work really, really well, and it's a pretty nice multiplier. The only downside to the teams, we had to bring a Kainu, we had to bring Fuji, which is a little bit frustrating because they're only 1.25 boosters. But hey, at least they're on the damn list. But that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there, like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. Best of luck in Treasure Map, as we are 2 days away, and then we get all the fun stuff for Kazuna moving into New Year's. But like I said, wherever you guys are, enjoy your day. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's